Hello, everybody. Chris Hamilton here with EnterMyInvoice.com and also with BookkeepingAutomation.com. And we will be getting started here in a couple of minutes. And just bear with me, doing a little bit of housekeeping right now. So just give me a sec here. There we go. Let's see. Questions can be texted to 403-630-1243 also. There we go. So I am on. So we got a few viewers on the landing page, and we also have a few viewers on the actual presentation through my YouTube channel streaming. So there we go. We will get started here in literally like 1 minute. I am trying to just pull up my presentation, and you should be seeing it any second here. Just give me a sec as I present to everyone. There we go. And I am going to try to jump in between a couple of screens. One being, hey, Jeremy, how's it going, buddy? Good seeing you yesterday. I will be jumping between a couple of screens here. So I got to look at the live chat every once in a while to see if anyone has any questions. If not, then we will go from there. So in order to watch this presentation or to ask me questions during the presentation, you can text me at 403-630-1243, or you can also use the chat box, as I will be checking that every once in a while. So let's get going here. So today's presentation is how to reduce CRA audit times and gain a competitive advantage. It's also known as getting your clients less stressed out and being more profitable, and that's more profitable for you. So this presentation will take roughly 20 minutes to 30 minutes max, I think, on this one, unless there's tons of questions. I always preface any kind of presentation that I do that I am not a bookkeeper, I'm not an accountant, I am a sales and marketing guy. So if you get technical on any kind of bookkeeping or accounting questions, it will go over my head, and I will try to write answers or get answers for you and everything like that. So there we go. So let's get started. So today I'm going to talk about the agenda. The agenda on this one is I'm going to go over the problem. I'm going to show you the opportunity. I'm going to show you how to gain a competitive advantage against your other clients. And I'm going to show you 5 ways to market yourself and beat out your competition as it relates to CRA audits. So let me give you an understanding of who we are and what we do. So our company it's actually a numbered company, but we have 2 separate little entities that run underneath it. And one is called Bookkeeping Automation. The other one's called Enter My Invoice. And Bookkeeping Automation is designed for bookkeepers and accountants, and Enter My Invoice is designed for corporate companies. Now, what we do is we tie into QuickBooks Online. We also tie into QuickBooks Desktop on this platform. And what you will see is that we help expedite the whole accounts payable process on a lot of things. So long story short, what we do, and I know this is kind of blurry, it's kind of Hubble vision, but we do document retrieval. So what we do is we will take paper copies, or what we won't, with our clients take paper copies. They can scan them with their with a scanner, as long as it's kind of 600 DPI, which is with dots per inch or something like that. As long as it's got that kind of scan rate to it, you can get your vendors to email you invoices as well. Or you can take digital copies of your invoices, bank receipts, credit card statements. And then last but not least is you can take pictures of these things. Now, the other thing too is there's a couple ways that we can do this. You can take all this data, put it into a Dropbox box or OneDrive, or you can import it directly into our system, Bookkeeping Automation, or bookkeepingautomation.com or entermyinvoice.com. And then long story short, what happens is you hit a sync button. The magic happens in here. We allow you the ability to import all this data. We extract it, pull it in by line item, allow you to apply GLs against this sort of stuff. If you have construction clients or anyone that has cost centers or job costs or anything like that, we can do that as well. You can apply rules to it. We can bulk code. So for example, if you have like ESO and you got 500 ESO receipts, instead of doing them one by one, you can select all and bulk code them to like an automotive GL. And then what happens is you sync it up with QuickBooks Desktop or QuickBooks Online. So that's kind of what we do. It's a little bit of a preface to this stuff here. Just going to jump into the chat box and see if we have any chats going. So just bear with me for a second. And it doesn't look like it. So I will keep going here. So one of the things, so you kind of look at, there's an opportunity out there. I'm going to say it's kind of a problem, but it's also an opportunity. I always look at things with the wind, you know, if a door shuts, a window opens type thing. One of the things that's happening is there's a lot of stuff that's going on with the CRA. So for example, in the 2016 federal budget, Mr. Trudeau included almost $500 million over the next 5 years to increase the amount of audits for tax avoidance and tax evasion. So they are really going after people. And I'm sure if you are a bookkeeper and accountant, you have come across clients that have actually being audited. I tell people I've been audited. I haven't been audited. I've had a lot of information they request after the fact. So obviously they're starting to scrutinize. One thing I do know that they're using is they're starting to use artificial intelligence to find anomalies, and those anomalies kick it out and then allow for the lovely tax department, the CRA, to take a look at who falls outside of that parameter and who they can go after. Now, the other thing too is that the CRA predicts that it will bring in an additional $2.6 billion in revenue over the next 5 years, or almost $500 million a year. So that's a hefty return on investment. So they're going to spend almost $90 million a year, and they're going to get $520 million. I'd love to invest in that because that's some good money there. The other thing you need to look at is that penalties from the CRA were up tenfold from 2012 to 2015. So they went from roughly 58 million to 478 million. And if you take a look at on top of that, they're crazy numbers. So long story short, it's an opportunity, but I also say it's a problem. Problem for your clients who are going to get audited. Opportunity for you to be able to go after those opportunities. And so here we go. So I'm going to talk about something. It's a case study. So our company was brought in to help an accounting firm here in Calgary. I'm based in Calgary. Our wonderful technician, James Elser, was brought in to help this company that was being audited. So we were working through their accounting firm. Now, what happened was we had 2 years of bank statements. We pulled them into our system. It was roughly about 2,800 line items. And we reconciled this and pushed it into QuickBooks Online in 28 hours. Now, the firm that was doing this, the accounting firm that was doing this, thought it would roughly take them between kind of 60 to 90 hours just to get this done. So if you take a look at kind of how we did it compared to how they did it, it's like half the time to about a third of the time. Now, one thing that I will say about this is that the reason it took us 28 hours is because James was not familiar with the client. So there was a lot of questions going back and forth. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of questions being asked and answered and everything like that. So I think we could have probably got it down to about 20 hours. So, the time savings is dramatic, a huge opportunity to automate a lot of this process. Now, here's how we did this. What we did was we took the bank statements. So in this case, we could take credit card and bank statements. And in QuickBooks Online, you can bring those in directly. If someone's being audited, oftentimes they'll have like that shoebox and they'll have a ton of bank statements or credit card statements kind of sitting in the background. And because of that, you gotta basically hand bomb that in when they bring it to you. So what we say is, why hand bomb it in? what we'll do is you can take that, you can scan it, and we recommend a Fujitsu SnapScan. Was it 5,500, 5,000, something like that? It's a Fujitsu SnapScan. Reason being is because you can scan stuff. It will make individual copies of each of the bank statements and put them in a file folder for extraction. It's so much easier. Anyways, long story short, this stuff goes in. Then what we do is we line stuff up by, the Visa card, the description or where the information's coming from, the date, the amount, any credit amounts, any balances, a whole bunch of different things. So you bring all that information into our system. Then the reason we were able to do this so quickly was that we were able to sort on vendors and then bulk GL code these. So what happens is we go up here, we do a sort on a vendor, it brings it up. So in this case, we've got ESO here. And then over on the right-hand side of our platform, what you do is you do a certain action. So you click on this action and we hit bulk coding. So what happens then is we just apply this to the GL, or we apply the GL to it right off the bat. And this GL then can be applied against all the transactions as opposed to doing them one by one. So huge time savings right there as well. Now, and here's another thing. I'm going to throw this in because it's not, I don't talk about it in here, but I will talk about it, is that if you have a client that's gone through a CRA audit, if you use a tool like ours, in the future, you can still use this tool to do the accounting work or the bookkeeping work and stuff like that. And what happens is, if you get something that's like an ESO receipt, you can actually apply a rule to it that says, apply this GL every time you see this. If there's splits to it, you can apply splits. If there's a jobs cost or a cost center that has to be applied to it, you can do that as well. And it'll remember it every time it sees that vendor coming in. And you set up different parameters, vendor from this store, from this location, whatever it is, everything like that. It will remember all this well in advance. And that way, you reduce your bookkeeping times that you have. So there's an added benefit. If you get someone through a CRA audit, help them out, get it done quicker, then guess what? You know what? You can do their bookkeeping after the fact so they don't run into this problem again in the future. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, if we take that kind of 60 to 90 hours, split it down, split the difference, it's about 75 hours. We're doing 2,800 line items in 75 hours normally, say at $100 an hour for reconciliation. So an accounting firm would probably charge out, they may even charge out more. In fact, I gave this presentation in Lethbridge, Alberta, and I had someone tell me that they would charge out a client close to $300 an hour just to do this kind of work. But I'm going to be a nice guy and we're going to charge out $100 per hour. So now if you're charging out at $100 per hour, then that's about $7,500 in revenue. So if you take a look at leveraging our platform and doing it in 28 hours instead of 75 hours, then in essence, if you charge the same amount, use a rule of thumb of roughly 100 lines per hour type thing. In this case, or 120 lines per hour. Basically, at $7,500 at 28 hours, you've effectively taken your hourly rate from $100 to $267.86. Now, the other thing too, in a scenario like this, based on the amount of hours a month, you could probably do about 5 of these a month if you get in. So, and I'll get into how you can find these types of deals or contracts to go after. You can do about 5 of these a month. If you're doing this, you're in essence taking your monthly revenue up to $37,000, almost $40,000 a month. Annually, it's almost up to $500,000 if you're getting clients coming in the door to do this sort of stuff. And once again, I'm going to default back to the slide that I have here, which talks to the fact that the CRA is ramping this up. So I think you'll be able to get opportunities coming to the door if you differentiate yourself in regards to this. Now, just give me a sec. Going to check to see if anyone's got a question. No questions coming in. That's great. Here's something even better, is that work, this work to do this right here in the center part, you don't necessarily have to do that. You can have someone else do that. And if you hire someone at a certain rate to do grunt work, and I don't mean grunt work in a mean sense, I mean, just the admin work or get this stuff done for you. You focus your efforts marketing your services and just touching base with CRA. This becomes hugely more profitable. So basically at 28 hours, just to kind of pull this in and reconcile it, $19 per hour. Now, the reason why I use 19 per hour, if you go to payscale.com and type in bookkeeper, they said the average bookkeeper in Canada makes $19 per hour. If you type in data entry, I think it's like $16 per hour. But anyways, long story short, 28 hours at 19 per hour is $532. If you're charging out at $7,500 and you're doing this at cost for $532, your net profit is almost $7,000 per engagement. Now, I'm going to give a real world example. We've got a buddy in town in Calgary here, Peter from Leverage.works, who is starting to corner the CRA market. One of the things that he's doing is he just recently did an audit where it was very similar to this. He thought it would take him close to 26 hours to do just the reconciling on this stuff. Leveraged our system, went through and did it in less than 3 hours. So huge opportunity there. So it looks like someone has a question. Just give me a sec. Yeah, I know. Hey, you're in the GTA, so it probably costs you like $2,000 an hour, obviously, to get good talent. I'm saying that tongue in cheek, but you got to remember when I'm saying $19 per hour. Really, what they're doing is they're including the backwoods across this country. So the Moosonee, Swift Current, Timmins, Ontario, places where it's not in the big areas and stuff like that. So anyways, long story short, this is a way that you can boost your profitability. So there's a huge opportunity here to do that stuff. Hold on for a sec. Got another question about 30 to 50. Yeah, I would say that would be about right. Yep. And it's the same in Calgary, actually. If you're doing reconciliation, I mean, these guys, you could probably, we've been in a downturn, so we can probably get people for about $19 an hour. They'd probably be MBAs too. Anyways, sorry, sidetracked and all that stuff. So now it's a huge opportunity. So it's a problem for your clients, huge opportunity for you, huge opportunity to become way more profitable. By the way, I'm going to slip back to this slide for one sec here. Now, the other thing too that this does is it frees up your hours. So let's just say you interface with the CRA at 8 to 10 hours per job or something like that. You get someone to do it behind the scenes. You're probably at 8 hours a month or 8 hours per contract doing 5 of these. You're working basically 40 hours a month just to get this done. Frees up 3 extra hours. So basically you're working a quarter of the time and you've boosted your salary dramatically, huge amounts. So huge opportunities there on this stuff as well. Okay, so 5 tips on how to market this service. So I went through, and so I'm a sales and marketing guy at heart. So I look for opportunities online and in different areas as to where to market this stuff. And there's a whole bunch more ways to market this service, but I'm just going to go into 5 really quickly here. When I went into Calgary, because I'm Calgary, sorry, I talk about Calgary, that's because I'm here. I'm kind of being centric to the Calgary area. I type in Calgary and then in quotation marks, CRA audit. And the reason why I'm doing this is I'm trying to find an instance where it says Calgary and tie those words together. And then it brings up about 10,800 results. And when I go through this, my buddy Mike over at KD Professional Services shows up number 1. Next thing is we've got Cost and Tax Help, which is they do this sort of thing. But then you start going in, you got Gowlings, which is a law firm. You got the CRA down here. You got the Globe and Mail. As you scroll down, you don't see a lot of stuff in here. So there's a huge opportunity to promote and present yourself to help for this service if you put a post or a page up on your website talking specifically about that. And I'll get to that in just a second here. Another way to do this stuff is when someone gets audited, they'll go to their accountants or they'll go to their law firm. So you know what I should put in here instead of law firms, I just slash, and if you're a bookkeeper, this will work for you. If you're an accountant, then your clients may already be coming to you. But go talk to an accountant firm or a law firm and just say, hey, look, I've got this service so that if you have clients that get CRA audits, we can do it a lot faster and a lot better for you as well. So, go into Google and just look up like Calgary and then Calgary accountants, Calgary tax lawyer, your city, whatever it is, and search and try to find different firms. And you can go to their websites and reach out to people if you want from the website, or even go on LinkedIn and try to see if you can connect with them that way as well. Write a blog post. So once again, there's not a lot of information online that talks to this stuff. And the facts and figures that I got for the presentation earlier was from Osler, which is a law firm. And they wrote a blog post back in December last year, about 6 months ago, just talking to these numbers. So there's where I got that 444 million, 2.6 billion, and a whole bunch of different things. So they wrote a great little article on it. And then if you write an article, if you have a website, put your blog post up, down at the bottom, just here's how to contact us to find out more. And you put that data in there. And once someone runs through or reads through all this stuff, guess what? They will reach out and contact you on this sort of stuff. The other thing too, so here's my buddy Mike at KD Professional Services. Put pages on your website. Audit support, you can go CRA audit support, Canadian Revenue Agency audit support. If you look through here, Mike's got CRA in several different locations. So I can see why Google's picking this up and starting to promote it. And that's why he probably shows up right up here as it relates to his rankings on this stuff as well. Another one that you could do, so YouTube videos. So whether you like video or not, it's a great opportunity. It's underutilized, and I'll tell you why. So YouTube, by the way, is the second largest search engine in the world, right behind Google, and Google owns it. So they own the first and second largest search engines in the world. And if you type in just like Calgary CRA audits, you can type in your city CRA audit, whatever it is, you'll see what kind of starts to pop up here. And what I found was literally there was 2 examples where it was Calgary and CRA audit. A lot of the stuff underneath it was just CRA audit information, and then stuff coming up from the actual CRA. So huge opportunity. You can take your iPhone, take a video of yourself talking about this sort of stuff. Same thing, you can create a video, you can screen cap it, put it up on YouTube, create a YouTube channel, put a description in, some keywords, and guess what? Bam, boom, you get found. Always have a call to action for people to reach out to you that way as well. Last but not least, I think this is the last one that I get into, is leveraging LinkedIn. And unfortunately, this is an old slide. They've changed their interface and how they do things. But you can go into LinkedIn's search, and if you go in the upper right hand corner, this little search bar now is moved over here. And if you type in accountant, whatever it is, you can do a whole bunch of different parameters and just search for people that are accountants, tax lawyers, whatever it is. They also have an industry tab, and I don't know if this is available for free accounts. I know I get it because I have a premium account. You can put like law practice, legal services, and find different people. Hit search, and people pop up. So in this case, I looked up tax Calgary, and I get 357 people that show up. And let's take a look. I was looking for second level people. So Roy Berg, for example, is a US Canadian tax lawyer, international tax. You got a whole bunch of different people that do tax stuff here. But if I wanted to go after tax lawyers, he's a second level connection. If I click on Roy's tab, and once again, this is older interface of LinkedIn. The new version, you just go down below his profile when it shows up, and it'll show you how many mutual connections. You click on that, and it'll pop up with a window showing you who you're connected to that's connected to Roy, as long as he's a second level connection. In this case, I could reach out to my buddy Lindsay Berry and ask Lindsay to make an introduction for me. I'd write her a quick little intro email that she can send him and the why I want to reach out to him. And then hopefully Roy Berg will see enough value in it and connect with me. Now, by the way, when I do this, I have a whole course around this called the Digital Referral. When I do this, I see usually about 40% of the people I ask will make an introduction. And of the 40% that I get in front of, upwards of about 50% will respond back to me because I have a specific thing that fits their need, and I know it is. And it's the way I've crafted the letter. So cold calling, by the way, has an average response rate of 0.3%. This upwards of 20%, you're looking at, what is that, like 66 times greater response rate just by doing something like that, by reaching out. So a huge opportunity, you can leverage it that way. So once again, what we do, I'm just going to go really quickly through this because I talked about it. One of the things that we can do is we have a value pricing tool in our platform. So if you ever want to move towards value pricing, you can always connect QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop. Those are the only things we work with. Right now, we may get some other systems in here eventually. You can do a running history and see what kind of transactions happen on the accounts payable, accounts receivable, and bank and credit card transactions. You can also take a look and say, hey, based on this, over this period of time, at this amount per transaction, what I'd normally do. If I charged X amount per month, then I would basically be able to give them one set fee and know that some months going to be heavier, some months going to be lighter, but I know that what's going to go on. That's one thing we do. The next thing we do is we bring data into our system. So if you've got a lot of clients that are trying to do cleanup and stuff, we can help you by taking all their paper documents and bringing them into our system. We reduce data entry by literally up to 80%, if not more actually, because we bring it in. And then the other thing we do is we can allow you to tag receipts by line items. So for example, if you go to Canadian Tire, you get a hockey stick, you get some tires, and you get a coffee pot. Hockey stick is coded to shareholder loan. The tires coded to automotive, and the coffee pot coded to, I don't know, office supplies or something like that. We can allow you to get to that kind of level as well for your clients very quickly. The other thing too is, as I say, we bulk code. So if you have a client that's got a lot of different vendors that they use over and over again, we can apply rules to this. So basically it gets rid of this whole type of coding against that client, greatly reduces your time. As I say, we also bring in bank and credit card statements. So QuickBooks Online is fantastic for drawing in the bank and credit card statements and allowing for reconciliation, but sometimes parents don't want to, or not parents, sorry, clients don't want to do that. So you may have to actually use paper stuff and bring it in as well. Last but not least, we've got, if you ever get stumped in our program, we've got video training that walks you through the process, shows you how to use all of this stuff. Now we're getting close to the end here. Just want to check, make sure there's no more questions. Yep, I think we're good. And so here's some marketing extras, because I go around, I talk to bookkeepers, talk to accountants, and one of the things that I find is a lot of times they say, I don't know how to get more clients, I'm struggling with this sort of stuff. So I like helping people out. One of the things that we do on bookkeepingautomation.com in our vlog section, I put up, it's supposed to be weekly, but I get kind of busy. So sometimes it's once every couple of weeks, once every week and a half. I put up a bookkeeping marketing tip. And what I do is I allow you to take a look at some tips and tricks that you can use to beat your competition and market the heck out of yourself. The other thing too is I take all these posts and I've amalgamated them into this bookkeeping and accountant marketing tips and tricks course that you could get to. So if you go to bit.ly/BA_tips, and now the BA and the T all have to be capitalized or it won't work. But if you go there, you can enroll this course for free. There's literally, I think there's like 8 or 10 hours of video in there right now that you can walk through. So I've got all the posts lined up in there. I got all these webinars. I got a whole bunch of extras like marketing stuff that'll help you out and help you market yourself. Down to the end here, we have 30-day trial. Try our software out for 30 days. So if you go to Enter My Invoice or bookkeepingautomation.com, you'll see a little button that says sign up. What you do is you click on that sign up. Then what you do is if you are a business owner, you would fall under Enter My Invoice. You select business owner. If you're a bookkeeper or an accountant, just select bookkeeper, hit next. And then what happens is we'll set you up with an account, get you up with a 30-day trial. This, by the way, this 30-day trial has a value of up to $750, I believe. So we're going bankrupt offering this is all I'm saying. So take us up on this offer. That would be super fantastic. So last but not least, contact me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, chris.hamilton@entermyinvoice.com, or call me in Calgary at 403-630-1243. Actually, you know what? Best bet is to probably text me and just say you want to talk to me. Give me your name and stuff, because sometimes I don't listen to my voicemail messages for a while and people get angry because I get back to them like 5 days later. I'm really bad at that. But if you want to reach out to me, feel free to reach out to me and I would be more than happy to help you out. Just going back here, seeing if there's any other questions. Does not look like it. What I will do is I will go back to stopping the presentation. I'm going to show you my ugly mug. I'm back. Anyways, I got a few viewers here and there. If you have or want to ask me any more questions, please feel free to do so. I'll stay here for another couple of minutes. We got this done in less than half an hour. I hope you found value. If you're basically on the landing page where you got this, if you did get value, please let me know. If you're on my YouTube channel, I got the chat box going. You can let me know if this is valuable too. Sorry, typing and such. Let's see here. So there we go. Was this valuable? There you go. And anyone who's watching online, if you have any questions about this sort of stuff, just let me know. I'm more than happy to jump online and kind of point you in the right direction. Always got time to talk to people to try to make them better and make them more profitable and all that good stuff. And apart from that, if I do not have any other questions, it looks like coming in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this broadcast. The other thing too, like I say, if you want, you can go to that bit.ly/BA_tips, B&A capital tips, or the T capital and tips. And what will happen is I'll put this presentation in there probably within the next 24 hours. Also, if you want to watch a replay of this, what you can do is the landing page that you came on, you can, after this stops, you'll be able to watch the replay. If not, then what you can do is you can go to my YouTube channel for my sales and marketing stuff I do, which is youtube.com/sales tip a day. And it should be the first video that shows up because this is going to be the most recent one. You can take a look at the replay there. And then also, like I say, that marketing course that I offer. If you go in there, you will be able to, you're going to be able to watch the video in there plus other videos that I've done. So with that, I bid adieu. Thank you very much. Doesn't look like anyone's got any other questions. And as I say, thank you very much for your time. I know time is extremely valuable. Hopefully you saw enough value in this. Understand that I can make you or help get you some money. And more than happy to walk you through that process to show you how to use this CRA stuff to make you a millionaire within a 2 or 3 year period. That's always good. Okie doke. Have a great day. Thanks for viewing.